what is the time of day, Adriana, roughly?
Yeah, I was thinking that the lunch, and now it's like 6 p.m.
Oh,
The
6
moment you
p.m.
just
Okay, so there may even be some opening. The bar may be either opening or there's activity to prepare for opening. Okay. I'm
yeah.
not that interested in going in, but we're
Mhm.
around there.
Just in case, at least,
Mhm.
until we get the ferrets back. How long will it
Yeah.
take for the ferrets to come back, more or less?
Well, it depends. I told them I was supposed to tell them how long to look. Sorry. Let me be clear to
Mm.
Adriano. I want them to find Alicia Walker, and I
Perfect.
have given them all the impressions that I have gained about her from what Jonathan said, and I have told them to basically spread out in a circle. Um, and in order to, I can't make them look through the whole city. I don't think.
Yeah.
I am going to simply spread out through the local neighborhood. My concept of uh, as much of the surrounding community until it turns into different communities, like different social classes and stuff. So that's sort of the cultural continuity spreading out from this bar, which I'm going to roughly call, a neighborhood or two in modern urban terms. Um, and then and they'll come back and tell me where she is. That's the idea.
Yeah. And exactly 2.5 minutes of
Wow.
research. Remember that they look 10 times faster than a human being.
Right.
Or,
Right. Uh-huh. Wow, even that. I'm
and,
going to say. So I'm thinking, well, it could be a few hours. As I'm right when I
Yeah.
say that, we
And
may
then you
have some
change your
time to wait
process.
here, and then it's like, oof.
they you receive, I imagine that they're not just coming back, that you're just receiving the position of Alicia Walkers. And the idea is that maybe imagine this swarm of returning to you and filling up to the gap of knowledge you're looking for, and you are able to trace or kind of remember through the swarm and what appears to be an old building located northeast to compared to another near a park called the Florida Playground. And just in front of the park, there's this building that really doesn't stand out. It's old but not abandoned. But it seems that Alicia is there.
So about right at the moment when I'm saying we may be in for a wait, and I was thinking about just how many disreputable and potentially dangerous people we may be meeting if we hang out right here. Not that I'm scared, but let's brace ourselves for hostile locals. And I'm just about to say that when I go, oh, in surprise. And I do the thing again. I'm just going to walk down the street purposefully. So, well, who knew?
I just
All right,
follow.
off we go. Right.
Yeah, Isaac feels like a dick right now.
Not
This
too much.
precise moment is just like, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Bye.
Not too dickish. We got a job, right?
We know the drill. I just follow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can imagine a cut from the scene, and then you're there, like a couple of minutes, like 15, 20 minutes, and you're just in the playground, a small playground, really a patch of green in this intricate labyrinth, and lots of mothers keeping their children they're really scared. There's a a thing that you can sense is that by walking through the streets, there is really a sense of fear. Mothers protecting their children, and when they just start running from them, they just yell, and you can sense panic and rage in their voice. They're really not angry at the children, but at the entire situation. And you can even see, although it is too soon, some slingers or some hookers like lingering at you before just walking away or passing to the next client.
A charming detail of the culture, especially at this time, was especially because it technically avoids certain legal charges, is if the prostitute walks out into the street and talks to somebody through a car window, then the person in the car can claim that they did not seek the business. And so this is one of the stupid little verbal tricks that was used a lot at this time. So so basically you would see, somebody casually slow down on a street, a woman walking into the path of the car comes to a stop, and then she leans into talk to the guy through the window. That starts. It's really strange looking, but was a common sight in the late 80s in many cities.
And I'm thinking, I like this image, so just toss it there. You can, before you arrive at the park, there are lots of liquor stores and television shops, and one of the television shops shows the different models, and they're just turned on different channels. And in one of them, you can see Nancy Reagan and the kids wearing the green shirts, yelling, "Just say no!
Oh,
I can hear you. Just say no!"
You know what? Oh my God! Hazard's just going to stop in awe because he remembers Nancy Reagan from 1960.
Oh,
right, and that's his background. So I mean, I'm just gonna stop in awe, and it's like, just how, what? So I mean, I think the stalker consciousness isn't quite connected up, but I mean, memory is one of my keys to humanity. So this is like just the surrealism of like an aged Nancy Reagan, like on the TV. It's like, wow. All right. I look at the two of them. I'm interested. I say, Lilith, I trust you on this. Those who might harm us, those who might impede us, those who might hunt the hunters. And I'm just suggesting that Lilith keep an eye out on things. The last thing we want is some sort of dreadful ambush, and we have to go and rend and slash up anybody. And then I'm going to point at the house, and I'll say, "She's in there."
So this is a small building. Is it like a residential building?
I was under the impression it was a little bigger. Is it like a single story or more like a townhouse? Or
yeah, I'm thinking about the townhouse.
Right.
The small garden, the fence.
Right.
It may be almost indistinguishable to the others.
Right. There'd be a row of them along the street.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I get it.
So it's like 2 stories. like
2 or
ground
3,
floor
yeah.
and maybe 1 story or something.
Yeah.
And is it like family house, or are we talking about apartments?
These things used to be family houses that were almost
Okay.
like personal estates. They were actually built for intergenerational living. You were supposed to keep the elderly
Uh-huh.
on top way back in the
Mm,
early part of the 20th century, but they were all chopped up into apartments. So
Okay.
there's a common stairwell often, and but they've been chopped into 3 apartments, and sometimes front to back 6 apartments, so that the other people would come in through the back, depending. This is in a place like DC, chopping it into 6 apartments would be very common. But then other things happen. 2 people get 2 apartments next to each other, and then they combine, right? Two friends get them next to each other, and then they combine the floor. I mean, it's all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah.
The plumbing, of course, is shared, so the new bathrooms have been put in with bad plumbing, right? So there's more bathrooms than the building was intended for, and anyway. Sorry, having college living situation flashbacks right now.
So let me just get the picture right. We are outside. There's like mothers and children on the
playground,
on the playground. What do we see from the house? Is there anything that looks out of place? Do we see people inside? Do we see people outside? Anything suspicious?
You don't see people inside because the windows are closed, and compared to it's not like a rainy day. It's kind of sunny. You can still catch the last glimpse of light till the evening. So it's kind of strange compared to the others that are maybe open to catch some air.
I'll put my hand on Lilith, and just in a comradely way, and I'm going into sensitivity again because I want to see if there are emanations and stuff. These, I believe, this is a strenuous skill, and so this is sensitivity, so it's going to cost me vitality. I actually used it before, so I better knock that off.
So you're tracking if you can detect essence.
This is very much the unseen emanations of all kinds. It's vague, though. In other words, it won't, depending on how well I roll. I might get a lot of information, or I might just say, okay, there's emanations from there. Can't tell. Right. I don't think it'll tell me whether it's a shadow or an unbidden or God knows what.
Yeah.
So, but I don't care. Right now, I just want to know if that kind of shit is going on at this place.
Yeah, just to be clearer, you're trying to sense the outside of the building, the inside.
Right, correct. Well, I'm kind of hoping that I can treat it as a I hate to be so Star Trek about it, but kind of as if any of these emanations are radiating out from it. In fact, that's why I was just looking at it. It's phrased, I mean, again, to be a little bit legalistic. It's
I'm thinking about
it says,
using it as
let me read it. It says to sense the lingering influence of the unseen, determined by the It's so. And it describes as emanations, the relative intensity of emanations. That's why I was just looking at it, because I was thinking, all right, I'm thinking of it as kind of like radiating off of the source. So by looking at the outside, that's, it's possible.
Yeah,
in other words, I don't actually have to be touching something that might be unseen. I can be in an area and get like radiations, I hope. So
I was thinking about some sort of sonar effect where you just pull, and then you arrive at some sort of.
That's what I'm hoping for. But again, it's very vague. I'm not. It doesn't give me much analytical ability. And now we're talking with a 12 plus 3, so for a 15.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I imagine that's as some kind of emanation of sonic wave passing through the walls of the establishment, and you can see two big emanations. One of them is almost oozing essence, so it's kind of like a flame burning brighter and refusing to stop. And oh no, I'm sorry, 3 emanations. Apologies. One of them is oozing this kind of flame, and the other is some sort of big but contained emanation, and the third one is the smaller one. You have a clear, although you can see that they are located on the same floor, more or less. Yeah, upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll point at the house, put my hand on Lilith, and the point being, the signal to Lilith is that I'm going psychic. I'd asked you to keep an eye out around us, to give us some heads up if something is going to come along while I'm tripping out. So I'll stop, drop my hand, look at Mask, and point up and say, a lot. 3 and a lot of essence up there.
Mask nods.
Yeah. So we know we're on to something here. This is where Alicia is. There's a whole lot of essence here. And I'll say, beware of shadow. I hate shadows.
I think
they get in the way, they hurt you, they waste time, they fuck everything up. So it's like, shoot, go away, shadows. We have unbidden to worry about here.
I asked the rest of the circle do you think we could ask these ladies here if they know who lives in this place, just so that we can have some idea of what to expect?
I don't think.
Or should we just go in?
I don't think it matters to me. I think we need to go and keep our word to Jonathan at this time.
Okay.
I mean, if we can learn more, but we'll get more out of understanding from the unseen right now than we will from the people.
Yeah, the idea was just to have some idea of what to expect inside. Like if people say, well, there's a bunch of shady people inside armed with guns or something. So we could have already some idea of what to expect.
We've quickly learned that here, innocence is in short supply. That's a fairly lethal thing for me to say. We are proscribed from shedding innocent blood. Everyone else is fair game.
God.
Okay.